Howdy, hi. It is Do Your Job Sports College Football Week 12 picks and predictions. Let's get into the video. All right, first things first, we're going to recap the previous week's results. We go 7 and 8 on the week, so I'm going to get into how these happened, and then we'll get on to the picks for Week 12. Our winners, we had East Carolina minus 7.5. That's a winner. Ole Miss +3 versus Georgia. That is a big winner. Notre Dame minus 25 versus Florida State. Florida State horrible, the worst offense in the entire country. We had UCF +4.5 at Arizona State. That one cashes. They only lose by 4. Colorado -3 at Texas Tech, an easy winner. Liberty -10.5 at Middle Tennessee. They win by 20. And Utah Washington State over 60 and 9.5. Easy cash. They score, I think, 78. Our 8 losers: App State, Coastal Carolina over 62.5, Miami of Ohio and Ball State over 50.5, Syracuse -105 on the money line at Boston College, Indiana -14 versus Michigan. They only win by 5. Vanderbilt +3 versus South Carolina. They got destroyed. Iowa State -3 versus Kansas. They lose outright. BYU -4 versus Utah. They win by 1. And ULM +7 versus Texas State. So that is how we did the 7 and 8 on the week. Let's get into the video. First game we're looking at, it is a Tuesday night action once again. Only going with the spread here. Last time the weather screwed us for the over in the Miami of Ohio and Ball State game. So this time just taking Buffalo -5.5. Buffalo is at home against Ball State. Buffalo is 3-1 at home this season. Their only loss coming to Western Michigan by 7 points. These offenses are very similar, averaging 340 and 350 yards per game. Ball State still has one of the worst defenses in the entire country, giving up 475 yards per game, compared to the Bulls, who only give up 415 yards per game. If Buffalo wins this game, they become bowl eligible. They're at home. I think they get it done in front of the home crowd by more than 6. Next game, LSU and Florida. I'm taking LSU -5. I have no idea how this line is only 5 points. Florida, they're starting a third-string quarterback who used to play at Yale. Through the first 2 games of his career, he is 19 of 47 with 3 interceptions. Florida is not going to be able to move the ball in this game at all. LSU coming off of a brutal loss at home to Alabama. Final score of 42-13. This should be a bounce back game here. Brian Kelly should have these boys ready to play for another big game against Florida. Obviously want to win this one. Since Florida's third string quarterback has been playing for them, they have 24 total points in 7 quarters of football. All of those scores have been on the ground or field goals. He has 0 passing touchdowns and 3 interceptions. This dude is Carson Beck 2.0. He's not good. He's not going to be able to keep up with LSU's offense. Give me LSU -5. Next game, it is Ohio State and Northwestern. I really don't think that this Ohio State team is that good. I understand they're 8-1 and their only loss is to Oregon. But if you watch them play, they are not the dominant, we will beat you by 50 Ohio State looking team. They just seem to be going through the motions, knowing they're better than all these teams they play, but they're not really sticking it to them. Northwestern has not lost a single game this year by more than 26 points, and last time I checked, 30.5 is greater than 26, so we should be okay there. Granted, the hardest team they have played is Indiana, but with how Indiana's been beating everybody else, that's quite impressive. They own the time of possession. They have a slow style of play. They like to keep their offenses on the field as long as possible. They don't hike the ball under 10 seconds or above 10 seconds on the clock. They're going to want to keep this game close. That is how Northwestern plays football. Ohio State, 8-1 on the season, obviously, but I'm just not getting the same vibes from them as a normal Ohio State team does. So I'm going to take Northwestern +30.5. Next game, Liberty and the UMass Minutemen. Liberty had a rough few games in a row, losing to Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State, but they were able to right the ship last week against Middle Tennessee, winning by 20 points. I think we see something similar here. Middle Tennessee, definitely a better team compared to UMass. US home field is horrible. UMass seasons is done. They are not bowl eligible. They will not be wanting to play football. So give me Liberty -13. Liberty has the much higher ranked offense here, 37th in the country, averaging 450 yards per game. UMass has the 190th ranked offense, averaging just 345 yards per game. Defenses are also quite similar, giving up 350 and 352 yards per game. I think Liberty offense is what gets it done here, so I'm going to take the Libs minus 13. Next game, FIU, Jacksonville State. I'm taking Jacksonville State minus 14 and the over 57.5. Jacksonville State has been rolling through teams in Conference USA. It does not stop here. FIU, not a good football program. They cannot make a bowl game. They don't really have anything left to play for, so I don't see why they would want to really come out here and compete. Jacksonville State riding a 6-game win streak after losing their first 3 games of the season. The main difference between these teams is that Jacksonville State offense is fantastic. They are ranked 20th in the country, averaging 465 yards per game, compared to FIU, who is ranked 209th, only averaging 330 yards per game. Jacksonville State has scored 44, 31, 42, 54, 63, 44 in their last 6 games. FIU has scored 34, 7, 21, 24, 17. They're not going to be able to hang and keep up with Jacksonville State. So give me Jacksonville State minus 14 over 57.5. Next game, Big Ten, kind of. One Big Ten school, one fake Big Ten school. It's Nebraska and USC. I'm going to take the Cornhuskers plus 9. Ain't no way the Trojans are favored by basically 10 points here. Lincoln Riley, horrible coach. This team is done for the year. They don't care to make a bowl game. Why would you want to leave SoCal and go play in a bowl game across the country when your home is nicer? You just stay home, work out, talk to your girlfriend, go back to your room, enjoy the beach, do whatever you want. Why would you want to practice for a bowl game that means nothing? I wouldn't. USC has lost 4 out of their last 5 games straight up. Their defense has allowed a minimum of 20 points in every single game this season besides 1. Nebraska, they have a young team led by their freshman quarterback, Dylan Raiola. This team has 1 win off of a bowl game for their first time since 2016. That is something they care about. Trust me. They want to make a bowl game. Matt Rule wants to make a bowl game. He's been there for, 3, 4, 5 years now? He's done nothing. They need 6 wins this season. Freshman quarterback, I think they get it done. Nebraska plus 9, and I'm sprinkling the money line. Next game, biggest game of the day, Tennessee and Georgia. Give me Tennessee plus 8.5. When I first typed this in, it was Tennessee plus 10. I really wish I would have gotten that 10, but I was stupid, and I had to take this 8.5. So we're in for 8.5. Here we are again, fading Georgia because their quarterback is horrible. If Carson Beck was just a mid-level average quarterback for Georgia, they would be a 1-loss team right now, questionably undefeated, but probably not because he played pretty well against that Bama game they lost. Carson Beck's last 5 games, he has 12 interceptions compared to 10 passing touchdowns. I'm not a real big math guy, but those numbers ain't going to help you win football games, no matter how good your defense is playing. Tennessee, 8-1 on the year. They have wins against Bama, Kentucky, Oklahoma, and Florida. Their only loss being a stinker game against an Arkansas team where they lost by 5 points. Tennessee's defense is actually ranked better than Georgia's. The Vols are only giving up 288 yards per game compared to the Bulldogs, who are giving up 325. I think Tennessee causes 3, maybe 4 turnovers from Georgia's offense. Whether it's a fumble or more Carson Beck interceptions, I'll take whatever I can get. I am also sprinkling the money here, or the money line here with Tennessee, but I'm going to take a majority plus 8.5 with the points. Final game, North Texas, UTSA. I'm taking the over of 71. Friday night football game here. Should be a very high-scoring game. 2 of the best offenses in the AAC. North Texas coming off of a game against Army that had them wanting to pull their hair out. Army had the ball for 42 minutes of that game, only leaving North Texas 18 minutes of offense, which they only managed to score a field goal. North Texas is the 4th best ranked offense in the country. They just go out and throw the ball every single play. I think they bounce back here with an offensive explosion against a UTSA defense who is not good. They're ranked 191st in the country, giving up 405 yards per game. UTSA's offense is ranked 51st. They're going up against North Texas's defense, who is the worst in the AAC, giving up 238 yards per game. There's going to be a lot of scoring in this game. It's going to be back-to-back touchdowns. We're going to see a lot of it. So give me the over 71. And that is going to do it for me and this video. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. And I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace.